Hello again and welcome back everybody to another edition of the Rural Report. I am your Rural 2IC, and today we're going to continue our daily news headline coverage from around the world and here on the homeland. Now, I'm going to jump straight into this. There was a lot of things that happened. Some of these are bigger stories than others. Some of them may seem very insignificant, but I want to make them as data points, so I at least want to get them out there. So sit back, because we got a little bit to go through. Now, again, in no particular order, let's start overseas. So first thing is first, from a report by Sky News, the UK will be sending 20,000 troops to one of NATO's biggest military drills since the Cold War. Now, the big question on this is why? And if you read down through the article, they're basically saying that this is their practice that they need so that way they can repel a Russian invasion. Now, apparently there's some sort of leaked documents that says Russia is supposed to be invading next year, and then I read some other different things that it's not next year, it's actually this year, and that they need to be trained by February because they're actually going to invade NATO by mid this year. I don't know. All I know is that per official sources, that the UK is going to send 20,000 troops to NATO to go train. So we'll just data point it and see what comes about it. Next is today Warsaw came out and agreed to the deployment of German military soldiers on its lands. This was announced by Poland's Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs. Now, this also brings a question of how many of these German soldiers are going to go to Poland, because if you look up open source data, the U.S. officially has 10,000 U.S. troops inside of Poland. So how many troops does Poland need? Poland already has its own military. They have an additional 10,000 U.S. troops. And now the question is what do they need more? Because how many is Germany going to send? So interesting data point. Okay. Next, we covered a little bit on South Africa calling to court Israel over its alleged genocide of the Palestinians. Well, apparently that's not enough. Okay, the trial is still going on. South Africa has now come out and publicly stated that they also want to take the US and the UK to court for, and this is what they're saying, not me, they want to take them to court for their complicity with Israel on the Palestinian genocide. So they're saying that even though Israel is committing this alleged crime, that the US and the UK are helping along, and therefore, if Israel is found guilty, then the UK and the US are just as guilty. So this is something that you probably should, keep in the back of your mind, because it's all going to come down to, this court. Now, you want to have faith in the justice systems and different things like that, but the way these international court systems work is not the same as what a lot of us know, or at least believe what the court systems are or should be. Data point that. Next, this one was pretty big news. The Houthis have successfully fired and struck a U.S. cargo ship. This happened in the Red Sea. You can go look. I know, at least in mine, I had a few people send me the pictures and stuff. This was a container ship. It was ablaze. So it's going to be interesting to see what the officials want to come out and say about this one. Now, the U.S. Military did come out and say that they are warning all U.S. owned and ships that are flagged under the U.S. flag to basically stay out of the Red Sea. Okay, and that right there is very telling to me. We already have 2, maybe 3 aircraft carriers. Who knows how many submarines, other support ships, because you don't send an aircraft carrier out by itself. They're always with an attack group, so they have their own submarines and supply ships, and all the defensive ships and battleships and everything like that. Um, so there's a lot out there. Not to mention, we're not the only ones out there. Okay, there's other ships out there too. So the U.S., we're supposed to be the strongest, biggest, baddest military there is on the planet, and we're basically telling the world that we cannot control this area. So you guys might want to not sail through here. Okay, so it's one of two things: either it's true that we cannot defend that waterway, and so for the safety of people and all that, don't go through here because they can't help you, or somebody's complicit. Hey, we just appear weak. Don't come in here. All that. Which one it is, I don't know. That's all up to you. Maybe it's a third reason I'm not thinking about. If there's another reason, leave it down in the comment section. But something's amiss here, okay? And I'm not quite sure what it is yet. But moving on. So the Ukrainian President Zelensky was photographed today as he arrived in Switzerland. Okay, well, if you're not following along and you're going, rural, what in the world is he doing in Switzerland? It's not to ask for money, at least not yet, because he is there to participate in the World Economic Forum Summit. Excellent. Now, there's rumors that there's supposed to be some peace talks and other things there, but we'll have to wait and see. Now, just in case you're not following along and you go, well, what are they talking about at this WEF forum? Well, let me post this picture right here because, by the way, on the docket is to discuss, that's right, preparation for disease X. How convenient. All right, let's get away from that. Probably get my wrist slapped for that one. All right, so Qatar has announced that it is stopping all natural gas shipments via the Red Sea. Now, this is important because Europe, and especially Germany, is very dependent on Qatar for its gas. Now, this was because of the Nord Stream pipeline. Now, if they had the pipeline, it wouldn't be such a big deal. I believe, and don't quote me on this exactly, I was trying to find a correct percentage. I believe it's somewhere between 13 and 18% of all their uh, natural gas supplies come from Qatar. So, I mean, you're talking almost a fifth. Imagine taking the fifth out. I mean, all it's going to do is, especially it's winter time right now. This is where you use most of your natural gas is for heating. It's right in the middle of winter, so this is just going to make all the demand go up. It's going to make costs go up. Costs are already high. I mean, that's pretty much the reason why they're all over there in Germany and all the other places protesting is because of the cost of living and the taking of more money and different things like that. So this is only just going to exacerbate and make things a lot worse. So, all right. So next, this one's a little odd, and I'm going to have to update because I tried to hold off. That's why this video is coming out a little later than what I'd like it to be. There's something definitely going on. The Israeli media is starting to report. Now, this is all allegedly. Now, we'll touch base on this, and hopefully, because this is all kind of like breaking stuff. Now, allegedly, the Egyptian army soldiers have crossed the Israeli border and has opened fire. There's a lot of people reporting on this, and it's going all over the place. So, did something happen? It sure looks like it. What happened? It looks like some ammo went flying back and forth. Who was involved? Not really sure at this time. So this one data point that something happened. Who, why, all that. I'll have to try and keep on this tonight and tomorrow and update you guys on that. Next, looks like North Korea today came out and said that the test flight of the unannounced solid fuel intermediate range missile tipped with a hypersonic warhead was a success. Now, they said that they did this because they have a desire to have a more powerful weapon that is harder to detect, and they want to have weapons that have the ability to strike U.S. targets in the region. Yay! Just what we need. More people that don't like us with a lot fancier high tech weapons. Okay, data point that. All right, now this one's probably the main topic. There's a lot into this. I'm going to keep on it because there's still a lot. This is not technically breaking, but it's still relatively new. This is hours old, so I'm sure there's a lot more information that's going to be coming about this. And this is going to be the last one for overseas before we go to the homeland. But the IRGC, so that's the Islamic resistance groups, they officially came out and took credit for 4 different strikes today. One is the U.S. base at the Erbil airport. 2 is the U.S. consulate in Erbil. 3 was the local headquarters of the Kurdish security services. And 4 was a private home of a businessman associated with the Mossad. Now, why is this interesting? Well, it's interesting that one Iranian, backed group did this, and these were all, from what I can tell, pretty successful strikes. Um, the really interesting part is these attacks, as you probably know, that Erbil is Iraq, but these also took place in Syria. So they attacked 2 different countries and 4 different targets. We'll see what all comes about. Again, I have a lot of updating on this one, so I will do my best to keep on this. These are already highlighted and bookmarked for me to really stay on this. All right, so let's move into the homeland. So the U.S. Defense Secretary, Mr. Austin, has officially announced that he has been released from the hospital. Now, the crazy part, if it wasn't already nuts before that he was under anesthesia and went through all this ICU and whatever, that he retained his power. Keep in mind, we struck Yemen while our defense secretary, one of the people that probably should be making these calls, was in the ICU. Okay, but they said that he's been released from the hospital and he is still going to continue to work, quote unquote, from home. So, okay, get better, Mr. Austin. Now these will appear small, but just data point these for a little while, just to keep an eye on it. Something's a little weird with it, but there is 2 dead and 4 injured in a shooting at an alleged illegal speakeasy in Philadelphia. Um, Keep an eye on that one. There's something there, I believe. Could be absolutely nothing. Could just be some whack job that wants to go out and do something stupid. But keep an eye on that one just for a sec. And the second one is, again, going to appear a little small, but I'm data pointing it and putting a pin in it just to make sure. There was a hot air balloon crash in Arizona that left 4 dead and 1 injured. Now, the numbers on this is extremely close. If it would have been 2 and 4 and 4 and 2, it would have really kind of jumped at me a lot more. Again, these could just be anomalies. These could just be some random whatever accidents, something like that. I'm just data pointing it for the moment. We will see. Next. Okay, so social media exploded all over this one. So if you was on social media, I'm sure that you at least saw hints of this. If not, um, right before I get out, so that way there's no smack of disinformation or anything like that. This is all false. These were rumors, okay? But rumors spread like wildfire today, all over online, all over different types of social media. I mean, everything that I could see, that the White House got swatted. And apparently, and these rumors is it was on fire. There was somebody trapped inside, and all this other stuff. Uh, I don't believe that for a second. Yeah, I just no. It's there's I'm not gonna say no way, it's a 99.9% thing that is completely false. I can't find anybody that's quote unquote legitimate that says this. There's no video, there's no pictures, or anything along those lines. So if it's true, I'll come back and correct myself. But right now, that's just all rumors and complete nonsense. So, all right. In the interest of trying to keep this short, let me jump to the very last thing I want to talk about. So this is going to come out as reported by Fox News. And if you don't like Fox News, well, I've shared CNN and MSNBC and then all the other ones. So I'm just bringing it to the attention. So before you start keyboard warrioring it, just hear me out for a second. So let me share the picture of the article so you can see it and follow along. So the FAA wants to add to its staff. Good for them. Okay. And they want to do this in a more diverse way by including people with severe intellectual and psychiatric disabilities. Okay. If you need to pause that and let that sink in for a second or reread that headline, now is your time, okay? So the very first acronym up there, FAA, okay, those are the people that fly and guide airplanes. Um, I'm all about giving the right person the right job. You know, especially today is MLK Day. And so, when it comes down to it, if your kid, your spouse, your grandkid, somebody you really care about is on, the hospital bed and they've got no chance almost of living, and somebody walks in of a different skin color, sexual orientation, religion, whatever, but they have the ability to save that person, I don't care, okay? And it's one of those ones, the right person needs to be in the right position. And I don't understand when we do these types of diversifying whatever, because everything should go. It shouldn't matter the color of your eyeballs if it has nothing to do with the job. And this right here, this is going to get people seriously injured or killed. Now, unless they are going to do some off, you know, some sort of other job. Maybe that they're going to hire them to where they're going to do, I don't know, dry cleaning or something to where it's not actually involved with flying an airplane, because I'm pretty sure that you need to be not severely intellectually disabled in order to fly. Uh, but we live in crazy times, so I don't know. All right, I'm gonna get off that before I get more trouble than it's worth. Just data pointing it out there. All right, so today came out. I decided to go ahead and release it today. The controversial put on your big boy or big girl undies and listen up to the hard truths of SHTF. Uh, Pretty popular video so far. It's only been out for less than 12 hours as of the release of this video. Um, Pretty positive all feedback. I really haven't had anybody say anything negative about it. Actually, a few of you even said that you're looking forward to more of those types of talks. I even got one that said, out of all the channels that they listen to, nobody wants to talk about it or to bring it up. Okay, well, just an FYI, I don't like to talk about it. It's uncomfortable for me. Thing is I'm not afraid to talk about it. I try and do what I can because I want to keep the channel. I think that there is a fine line on what I can share and stay on, because I feel that I can help a lot of people in a lot of different ways. And I don't want to be selfish in the thing of going, well, I'm going to talk about this and risk the ability to help people in the future. So I will do what I can to quote unquote play by the rules and dance around and do things, but still get the message across in that area. Now, we will still continue to make all the other videos. We'll still continue to do prepping videos. Mrs. Rowe is even talking about joining in on some more of the videos and maybe doing some cooking things and some recipe videos and some things like that. So there's a lot that's going to be coming, especially as things warm up here in a few months. I will be doing some things inside. I got some different things. I actually had one of you send me a screenshot from, I think it was something off Facebook, and asked me to go, hey, could you really do this? And I was like, well, there's one way to find out. So uh, I'm going to do that. I'm going to put that one to the test, and we're going to find out, and we'll make a video of it. And who knows, if that's popular, maybe we'll start doing that. Maybe we'll do a little series on, finding out, is it fact, or can we debunk it? When somebody posts something that is prep related and you want to know, hey, does this really work? Is this possible? All right, let's put it to test and find out. So, but that's what I've got for you guys today. So let's go through the ending of this. So if you made it to this far into the video, guess what? You rock. Congratulations. I love you guys. Thank you guys for spending a little bit of your Monday evening with me. I hope the rest of your night is amazing as always, and I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow for Tuesday, and especially for Workshop Wednesday, our live 1 hour Q&A. So with that, guys, we're going to wrap it up. So stay tuned. There's definitely more information to come. Say it with me. Above everything else, remember, remain united, because we're all prepping in this together.